The main issue with auto splitters being written in C# is you can get C# to do anything. So like, for example, this auto splitter, the auto splitter for MGS3 PC, also allows you to have the dev menu and push buttons to reset the game and stuff like that. Because, as I say, because it's written in C#, it doesn't just have to run commands that are within LiveSplit. It can do other things. It can affect your game. You could write a virus into it if you really wanted to, if you had the know-how and knew what you were doing. We want smoke grenades in here. We're never going to use them, but there they are. So yeah, for security purposes, there is an effort to convert it to something else. I think that's LiveSplit 1, which is a web-based version of LiveSplit that's being developed. I've tried it out and I don't like it. Though that was ages ago, so it's probably changed a bit since I last looked at it. Oh, I really hate it when he does that. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does. Terrible pain fight. I can't remember if there's any other problems with LiveSplit on Linux. I know the main one is that global hotkeys don't work on Linux. So unless you've got an auto splitter, then then you can't split. But I don't know if there's also a problem with auto splitting on Linux. And as much as I've been tempted to change to Linux, I understand the problems with Windows and people don't like Windows, and Microsoft is not a particularly good company. For me, like I'm so set up, like I feel like, particularly because I stream regularly. Oh, they do work. Because I stream regularly, and I have this whole setup for streaming and all of that. I just feel like if I swap to Linux, there's a danger that I'm going to completely screw up my stream setup, and that's the thing that I don't want. You know, I'm developing Speedrun Tools UK, which is primarily built for Windows. Trying to convert that to Linux. I do too much stuff that requires Windows to change. Unfortunately. You could do that. I definitely should try and... I mean, technically I do have another PC that's Linux, but it's a retro gaming... like retro emulator version of Linux that's installed. It's a Batocera that's installed on it, not it's not like Ubuntu or something like that. It's completely designed for emulation. I'm just gonna grab Mousetrap, because that is a weapon. I don't know if the game considers it, but I do, so I'm doing it. Your university class requires kernel level anti-cheat. Wow. That's intense. I don't know if we have any League of Legends or Valorant fans watching, but I don't know if you heard recently that Riot Games have updated Vanguard so it can now be switched on and off. You won't need to have it running from the start. Yeah, kernel level anti-cheat for a class. I mean, I get it. I suppose it also depends on what your class is. Yeah, I guess that's my next question. Oh, okay, cool. What is your degree in? I'm still gonna do the same again. I'm still gonna balls. I'm just gonna have to wait in here. The alerts go down really, really quickly. The evasion should go down pretty quickly as well. Completely screwed that up. Did I actually grab the handkerchief? I think I did. There we go, the evasion's going now. Oh, what? Why did the evasion now stop going down so quickly? Well, that was a pain in the bum. 37 seconds wasted. Jeez. I do believe I did actually grab the handkerchief in the end. Yeah, it's not in there. Okay, maybe I start grabbing the handkerchief on the way back as well. Ugh, jeez. Man, my degree seems tame by comparison now. Then again, I didn't really need a computer for mine.
This is HQ.
Don't think I've missed anything. Will I get the chaff grenades in Ponahove? Why do I get the feeling I missed the chaff grenades in Ponahove South? I'll check at the end of this fight.
He wasn't dead after all.
I've got chaff grenades. Oh. Cool, I didn't forget the chaff grenades in Ponahove South. Good. Right, next up is the book. I don't think you get chaff grenades anywhere else. I must have. Yeah, I remember to get them. That's why I really want a tracker for this, but a tracker needs to be built. That would require going into and looking up all of the, trying to find the, memory locations of all of the items, if that's even possible. I've tried doing memory stuff in MGS3 and I really struggle with it. I tried doing all keratins and couldn't do it. Yeah, I wanted an all keratins tracker, because I have because I have StreamerBot connected to LiveSplit. I wanted to be able to, every time I do a split, for like a frog to come up on stream or something. What would make for an interesting? What would make for an interesting stream? Trying to find the memory locations of all of the items, because that would not be interesting. That would be really boring. Right, must remember to get stun grenades. Cool. That was a big time save. 46 seconds. I've considered doing streams. Ugh, why do I keep going that way? Making the tracker would be, I imagine, would be interesting. Trying to find the memory locations would not be interesting. That would be really dull. I have considered doing development streams when I've been doing Speedrun Tours UK development, but never really got that far.
All right, let's look at your gear.
Blindly take a look at IDs in the game files. Not a bad idea. Yeah, my method of finding memory locations is, yeah, boot up Cheat Engine, search for anything, go pick up an item, see what's changed. It's really slow and difficult. GameCube games are brilliant for making auto splitters and stuff like that, because Dolphin has its own version of Cheat Engine built in, and it makes it so easy to find memory locations. I say its own version of Cheat. It's not Cheat Engine. It has memory locations in Dolphin. I did Lord of the Rings from scratch. Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, I built that one from scratch, finding all of the locations, and that was a doddle. Oh, that helps. Auto-splitting for some games has gotten a lot easier lately, because the EMU helper that got developed, again, for GameCube, is really easy and stuff like that now. You don't have to be doing memory pointers. EMU helper really fixes all of that.
I've been with the unit since I was born. I grew up on the battlefield. Conflict and victory were my
anything that EMU helper supports means you don't have to worry about pointer chains anymore. Which, yeah, pointer chains are kind of the absolute bane of auto-splitting.
Nothing else matters to me.
This is the bit I hated the most. What was nice was working on the auto-splitters for Minighost and Pampers and Celine. Because for Minighosts, no pointer chains were necessary. All of the memory locations were static. They never changed. And for Pampers and Celine, because I was working with the developer on it, I got the developer to put in a set of memory locations that was always, it wasn't necessarily static in that it was always in the same position, but there was always a series of memory code or something. I can't remember exactly how it works, which was always like in the same order. It was always the same values. And with the auto splitters, you can write something. I can't remember exactly how it works. You can write something which basically searches for that bit of memory first, and then you just offset beyond it. Yeah, being able to work with Unepic Fran on it was made life for Pampers so much easier. I still don't know whether that auto splitter works properly though. Plywood kept suggesting that it didn't work, and it kept getting double splits all the time. But I think that was down to not using it correctly. I'm not sure. Right, we've got another couple of weapons there. We've got the RPG and we got the TNT. You don't have to get the RPG there. You will get given the RPG automatically. But we always get it there in the speedrun, because if you get it given to you automatically during the bike chase, which means if you don't collect it there, you've got to go into your inventory and get it out during the bike chase, which isn't ideal. Our next weapon is in here. We've got claymores in here to grab. Ooh. That's by far and away the easiest way of getting claymore. No crawling over claymores to try and pick one up. Nope, just grab a box of them there. Yes, quicker to grab from that heart, and then than it is trying to put it into your inventory later. Alright, compared against my previous run, even though I never finished that run, so we're not properly comparing times, but we'll see it in the gold split that I'm about to get. Assuming this isn't an absolute disaster like it was last run. I'm pretty sure it won't be.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
We initiated development of Metal Gear Raid.
Stop it! I blame you this rift.
Stand up to a Metal
He's
Gear
got sheep.
another Metal Gear.
Nice, we've got good RNG this time as well.
With Raid, hundreds of thousands of Metal Gears that
And that is a 2 minute and 22 second time save.
generation will be contained. And it
That is how badly I ballsed up the Fury on that previous run. Nearly 2.5 minutes saved.
the specifications for Metal Gear. They are all working on the
Good
own
God.
Metal Gear Force to compete with the US's nuclear strike capability.
Next weapon very shortly.
About to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives.
During the Rykov grab.
Some say that the strategic importance
I'm looking forward to Peace Walker as well. I will probably, with the mass collection, I will probably finally learn Peace Walker. And MGS4.
will be reduced by the completion of Raid. The opposition from
Alright,
the Navy
we can
is
do this properly now.
fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass.
So, shoot Rykov. Then turn this corner, grab this guard. Oh, managed to grab him right at the corner, really far away, and I didn't get an alert. Because doing that grants you access to here. Grab the Scorpion. That's the submachine gun, which is terrible. This is an awful weapon. And doing it that way is just slightly faster. Slightly faster. Then I think maximum is probably about 3 seconds. Actually, with the way I grabbed that guard, 3 seconds is probably about right for this. Yeah, that is quicker than grabbing Rykov, doing all of that, getting the uniform on and going back down and back up again. Yeah, good tanker. Yeah, that was also a heck of a lot quicker than my previous attempt. In that I didn't completely screw it up. Yeah. Our one and only glitch. It's so nice, we'll do it twice. Yep. Claw control. I've played through Peace Walker twice. I started playing it. The first time I started playing it was the HD collection. I've never... It's one thing I haven't got. One thing I haven't got in my collection. I do not have a PSP copy of Peace Walker. I have the HD collection on Xbox 360 in physical format. I've got the HD version on my PS3 in digital format, but I've never actually owned the PSP version. But yeah, first time I ever played it was on my Xbox on that version. I never finished it. I really struggled because it doesn't translate well to console. You know, it was designed for pick up and play. It was designed for handheld, so I never felt like it worked that well on console. Then I finally I started a second playthrough. This was go back 2020, 2021. I decided to do a playthrough, or this was before I was speedrunning. I decided to do a full playthrough of every mainline game in the series on stream. A mate of mine suggested, why don't you just, you know, you're a big Metal Gear fan, why don't you play through every game in the series and show people it? I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then when I was done, I was like, I really enjoyed doing that. I want to keep playing Metal Gear. How else can I play Metal Gear? All right, let's try speedrunning. And now I'm here. Yeah, I finally completed Peace Walker for the first time on that stint. And then a couple of years ago, it was either last year or 2 years ago, I got my PlayStation Vita the first time, and I popped Peace Walker on there, and absolutely adored it. For me, there is no better way of playing Peace Walker than playing it on Vita. Because there's a fan patch. There's a fan patch so that you can use the second analog stick. It's still a little awkward, but it's so much easier. Right, we want the fork. 4.75. Yeah, the Vita, and I also played through Portable Ops and Portable Ops Plus again. On it, and again, fan patches for both of those, and they are the best way of playing those games. The Vita's fantastic. For me, the Vita is hands down the best handheld console I've ever had. It's just Sony just did not know what to do with it. Sony dropped the ball so hard on the Vita, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I own copies of I own copies of Portable Ops Plus, Acid 2. I never had the I've not got physical copies of the motion comics. I still stand by my claim.
There's no need to...
I have said that if MGS4 runs well on Switch 1 in handheld mode, I will speedrun it on Switch 1 in handheld mode. I will buy it on Switch, and I will I will have to set up some sort of camera. I'll have to set up some sort of camera system so that I can prove that I'm doing it in handheld. The other one comes to, so Master Collection Volume 2 is coming to Switch to Xbox Series S and X. Is it coming to PS4? Or is it just PS5? I'm pretty sure it's coming, it's PS4 and PS5. And of course PC. And we are getting Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and the bonus game this time round. And there's only the one bonus game. It does feel like it's not a very good collection. But the bonus game this time round is Ghost Babel, which is the Game Boy Color game, which is fantastic. Is also one of the best Game Boy Color games. Peace Walker on a Steam Deck would be really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, Peace Walker will play great on PC and on all the consoles. It's just, it was designed for a different audience. They are weird that they're skipping PS4, because Master Collection Volume 1 was on PS4 if I recall. I might be wrong there. I'm pretty sure it was, because I'm pretty sure actually originally Master Collection Volume 1 wasn't coming to PS4, it was only going to PS5, and there was backlash, and so so then they changed it and said it was going to PS4. But it'd be really weird if Master Collection Volume 2 went to Switch but not PS4. Although it's about, well, I suppose actually that's because the Switch is Switch 2 is the next generation, isn't it? It's Switch PS5, not Switch 2 PS5. All right, we have our final two weapons to get in this room. It plays really well on. I play Phantom Pain on keyboard and mouse. Cardboard box B. No, don't want that. No, I don't need that actually. We need that. That's it. Yeah, I played Phantom. I think I played Phantom Pain on PC with keyboard and mouse. Pretty sure I did. No, I didn't. I played it on. No, I started playing it on keyboard and mouse, but I hated the horse control, so I think I swapped to controller. There we go. So that's the M16 and the M63. I didn't see a suppressor in there. So those are the last two weapons. So I found out last run, the M63, the M16 is in there. That is the third opportunity we have to get that weapon.
Colonel.
Disc swap dialogue. I don't know what they'll do. Will they have got Christopher Randolph back in? Or, no, in Konami, they'd probably just use AI. Yeah, just to say, oh, right, we're on PlayStation 5. Oh, right, we're on Switch. Oh, right, we're on PC. Well, look, can I be doing it in-house? I can't remember who it is who's actually doing it. Nice. Got him in one go there. Right, we can take a break now. Don't need to do anything in this room. But we're done. We've just all we've got to do now is finish the game. This has been so much better. I'm glad we stopped at this point last run and just decided to start again and just get it done. I'm trying to think if there was anything else in. There wasn't anything in Master Collection Volume 1 that matched that, was there? Like, they still did the disc swap in MGS1, but it was just that animation. That was easy enough. But there isn't really any references or voice lines that needed changing for that, is there? And MGS3 is very, very quick. Particularly on very easy difficulty. If it was European Extreme, it slows down a chunk. But, you know, since Master Collection Volume 1 came out, MGS3 is so accessible. That was always the biggest problem with MGS3 for a very, very long time. The only reason why MGS3 was not a very popular speedrun is because it was really inaccessible. For the longest time, basically until the Master Collection came out, the best way of speedrunning MGS3 was to run the Xbox 360 version on an Xbox Series S or X. And yes, that is the only reason I bought my Xbox Series S. I have played other things on it. I've 100%ed Phantom Pain on this bad boy. But that was the primary reason I bought an Xbox Series S. So that I could speedrun MGS3 in the best way possible. Before the Xbox, when I first started, doing MGS3 speedruns, I learnt it on PS3. Because before the Xbox Series S came out, or if you didn't have an Xbox Series S, PS3. I made a mess of that, didn't I? That slowed down. The Master Collection didn't change everything. In fact, actually, the Master Collection only changed MGS3 as far as speedrunning is concerned. MGS1 console, which is what Master Collection is still fastest on a PS TV. MGS2... MGS2 console... I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not sure really what happened with MGS2. I don't think anyone runs it on... Anyone really runs it on Master... I imagine Master Collection... Master Collection is probably better on console for Master Collection now, actually. So that probably was better. But by far and away, if you're running MGS2, still the best way of running MGS2 is the original PC port of Substance, because it's still faster, and I prefer running the Master Collection version of MGS2. I prefer speedrunning that version because I just think it's better. It looks nicer, it plays better, but it's not as fast. Loading times are incorporated in. I think. Actually, I don't know. No, loading remove time should be. I don't pay enough attention to MGS2. It is probably my least favourite in the series of speedrun that I've learned so far. And I've speedrun Survive. Ugh. That's the one problem with speedrunning MGS1 on a PSTV. There is a slight bit of input lag. But once you've done it enough times, you deal with it. It's not too much of a problem. I can't say I'm looking forward to learning MGS4. I still think MGS4 looks like a really boring speedrun. I do want to learn. In fact, as I've said before, once I've learned MGS4, I have learned every game in the anthology, and I can do the anthology speedrun. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 Ground Zeroes, but only the Ground Zeroes mission, and then Phantom Pain, but only Chapter 1. That is a 9-hour speedrun. Thankfully, it doesn't include Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. Okay, I'm going to wait for the skid now. That's a little slower than it could have been. Didn't do a very good job of that. Alright, break time. YouTube video idea. Can you beat the anthology in less time than MGS4's cutscenes?
Take him out!
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I've always maintained with MGS4 that MGS4 for me had the best first playthrough experience. I loved my first ever playthrough of MGS4, and I still think for a first playthrough it hit me the hardest. It was the most enjoyable. And I just loved the experience, but it sucks playing it over and over again. It is way more linear than it looks. I don't know why I'm now just randomly shooting a couple of guards. Phantom Pain I enjoyed my first playthrough for. I got hit twice with Phantom Pain. Like sort of proper feel, like not necessarily feels, but like firstly I did not work out the twist. I had no idea. And then when it happened I was like, oh my god, you are shitting me. But the main one for me, the main sort of reaction that I had to the game was after beating Sahelanthropus for the first time, and it plays through the credits, and then it says coming in Act 2, and I was like, what? We're not done yet. I was because I remember hearing all the criticism. There's like loads of criticism about the game feels unfinished and the story threads that don't play out and stuff like that. And to beat Sahelanthropus and got to the end, it was like, yeah, I understand. I completely understand where all of that's coming from. Yeah, this does feel. There's loads that hasn't, like what happens with Quiet and what happens with Liquid and all of that. There's so much stuff that's unresolved. This is, yeah. But I've really enjoyed the game. So yeah, I accept the story criticism, but I've really enjoyed the game. It's been fantastic to play through. And yeah, really good game. Coming in Act 2. Shit. Hey, it's Paige.
Why did they...
My biggest issue with Phantom Pain is that the Fox engine was just perfect, and it just went to waste afterwards. They did Ground Zeroes, they did Phantom Pain, they did Survive, which I love Survive, but it's shit. Don't get me wrong, it's awful, but I love it. It's like it's like it's not that it's so bad it's good. I just really enjoy it for dumb reasons, and the speedrun's quite good. And the Fox engine was used for some Pro Evolution Soccer games, and that was it. Such a waste. Ah. Yeah, it was only for a few years. In fact, well, I say only for a few years. I think it was since after Phantom Pain came out, it was used for every version, and then obviously Pro Evolution Soccer died. Is it? Am I right in thinking that the football genre is pretty much dead now? Because I've seen like clips of the latest EA Soccer or EA Football, whatever it's called now, because they can't call it FIFA, and it's shocking. It's like awful. A football video game is just dead.
Let me have some more.
Now, if you want to play a football, I know there's a new football game coming out that looks pretty interesting. Completely different take on the genre. And of course, you've got Rocket League. I'm sorry, yeah, FIFA dropped the license. I don't know what the reason was, but yeah, FIFA stopped granting EA the license, so they're no longer called FIFA whatever. They're now called, as I say, I think it's EA Football or something like that. I mean, depending where you are in the world, it'd be EA Soccer.
Retinol pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
Yeah, it's terrible. They can't be a thing of the past, because EA were making so much money out of Ultimate Team. Yeah, and now we're getting a movie.
Your aims, aren't you?
We got the first teaser for the Call of Duty movie.
Your aims.
Last week. Last week, or was it Monday? I can't remember. Oh my god. Movie trailers. We have not... Yeah. Did you not know that? Yeah, go and have a look. The teaser is nothing, by the way. The teaser is just it's just a title card. It's just the night vision goggle noise, you know, the... And then, you know, the sort of waveform. And then it says Call of Duty. Yeah. Call of Duty film. And then, yeah, trailers. We haven't talked about film trailers. The final trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day came out today. Still looks really good. And over the week... no, not over the weekend. Yesterday. Really weird. We got one yesterday and one today. Yesterday, we finally got the first full trailer for Avengers Doomsday. I can't remember what the last COD I think the last COD I played was Black Ops 2. The last COD game that I played and like properly played and enjoyed, I think was Modern Warfare 3. I think. I can't remember. I didn't play that much COD. I played the hell out of 4 and then Modern Warfare 2. Those are the only two that I really played. Loads. Played a bit of Black Ops. And I think that was it. Right, we're nearly done. We've nearly completed what I'm probably erroneously going to call the first ever all weapons speedrun. Don't know if it's the first ever. You can never be too sure. Ugh. Oh, I didn't actually equip the easy gun there. And done. There we go, everybody. The first, or I believe the first, all weapons Metal Gear Solid 3 speedrun. We're not done yet. We're still got to get through the credits. We're looking at 105. Roughly 10 minutes. 106, I'll say. 'Cause it's somewhere between 10 and 11 minutes from this point onwards, I think. Yeah, world record by default. I mean, you say world record, it's not a category yet. I've now got to submit this to the category extensions leaderboard with the intent of, could you make this a category, please?
Patriot. Why are you giving me this?
I don't know why, I'm still for some reason I'm still holding buttons. We're not done. The game inputs have not ended yet, I should note. I've still got 1, 2, 3. I've got like 10 or 11 more inputs yet. But this is all. I'm building all of this up towards what I'm hopefully going to create, which is the all collectibles speedrun. Different from all achievements. Doesn't require you to get all the achievements because all of the achievements is not a very accessible run. Partly because it requires you to get Foxhound, so no, we don't want that. My idea for all collectibles... Excuse me. My idea for all collectibles is... Excuse me.
Well done.
Lost time because I sneezed. And I've muted the audio. Copyright hits on this. That's it. Now inputs are. Now it's all out of my hands. Inputs are now complete. Yeah. So for all collectibles, my intention for collectibles is all carrots and frogs, all plants and animals, all camos and face paints, all weapons, all equipment. I believe that covers all collectibles. I don't think there's anything else really. There's a few caveats with some of that. Because there's no because traditionally well, no, I say traditionally because the PC version I'm running now is the only category that goes by loading remove time.
Right.
So you may have seen in fact you can see if you're watching the horizontal stream, if you're on Twitch or YouTube horizontal, you can see that my timer below, I've got 2 timers running. I have the loading remove time, which is currently at 58 minutes and 17 seconds. And then I have my real time at the bottom, which is at 59 minutes. So I always have real time on just to show the difference and show what I'm doing. The loading remove time is whenever the game is loading, the time pauses. Makes sense. But every other run, emulator's different, but we don't talk about emulator because they I don't know why they did what they did with the emulator. That's stupid. Every other run is on console, and obviously there's no auto splitter for console. You can't do load and remove time. So console is done by IGT, and the IGT is shown at the score screen at the end and includes the credits. So up until the point where we got the PC version, it was always done this way. It was always done with IGT, always at the end. And so it made sense for PC to follow suit and still have the same timing method. Because in most games in the series, it doesn't matter which version you're doing, you still have to get to the final stat screen. You might not necessarily use the IGT, but you still get to the stat screen. And also that varies. You know, some games skip the credits. MGS1 PC, you can skip the credits, which is one of the reasons why MGS1 PC is faster than console. There's a lot of other reasons, like the PC version being completely broken. Delta Snake Eater, you can skip the credits, so you don't have to watch them, which is really nice. It's one of the best things that Delta changed. MGS2, you have to watch the credits every time, no matter what version you're running. And MGS2, apart from PC Master Collection, uses IGT for everything. Even the original PC version uses IGT because it has loading and remove time built in. The IGT for the original PC port of MGS2 pauses during loading times. And that, if there are any game developers out there, any game developers that are thinking, is there anything I can do with my video game to make it better for speedrunners? There is only one thing. We talked a little bit. My last episode of Fast Travel that I had over the weekend just gone, the final run that we did of Elisa by Juho, the commentator was the developer of the game, which was really cool. And I asked him during the run, was there anything that you did with this, sort of with speedrunning in mind? Is there anything you would now do differently because you've done, you've worked with speedrunners and all of that? And he said no, he didn't really. And a lot of that, and I completely agree with this, I've heard other people talk about it, is that you shouldn't really develop a game with speedrunning in mind. If your game is fun and interesting, then people will want to speedrun it. You shouldn't go into a game thinking, right, I'm going to design a game for speedrunners. But that's not to say there aren't some things you can do to help with speedrunners. And the number one thing that I would say for any developer out there who just wants to do something to make speedrunning work for someone and make it easier is include an in-game timer and make sure that timer pauses during loadings. That's the only thing I'd say. Best example I can think of is Klonoa. Klonoa 1 and 2 on the Fantasy Reverie series includes an in-game timer that pauses whenever you do not have control. Oh, and the ability to skip credits. Yes, please. Very good. Very good addition. Yeah. Skip credits, skip cutscenes. Don't include loads of unskippable cutscenes. But that's, to be honest, unskippable cutscenes is very rare these days. I can't remember the last time. I mean, I know MGS3's got a couple of unskippable cutscenes. I can't remember the last time I played any game where every cutscene was unskippable.
I took these photos to you.
Oh, Jade Cocoon. Pretty sure Jade Cocoon's cutscenes were all unskippable.
Forget.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice. But yeah, the best thing that you can do is if you're going to include an in-game timer, make sure that timer pauses during loads. Personally, I don't like timers that pause when you pause the game, but that's not a hill I die on. Like in MGS3, the timer doesn't pause. The MGS3, the timer doesn't pause at all. That timer never pauses. As soon as you start the game, that timer continues to go until you get to the end. So yeah, normally I'm not a fan of timers pausing when you pause the game. Depends on the game and the situation. And Metal Gear Solid is quite a good example. In some games, Twin Snakes. I'll give you the Twin Snakes is probably the best example because we can see the IGT working. In Twin Snakes, actually in Twin Snakes and MGS2, the timer does pause when you pause the game, but it doesn't pause when you're in the codec or when you're opening your weapon inventories or anything like that. That's probably better. If you've got a pause screen that literally all it does is pause, then pause the timer by all means. I think that's fine. But if you've got a pause menu like in MGS3, if you've got a pause menu that also you have to go into it to do stuff. So in MGS3 we have to go and we have to heal, we have to use food, we have to do our equipment and stuff like that. Don't keep that separate. If you can have a pause that just pauses the game and a pause that does menus and other stuff, then keep those separate. But more than anything, include a timer and have that timer pause during loads. It means that every version of the game is on the same foot. So console, PC, they don't need to be separated. It also then doesn't matter if one person's playing on a PS5 with an SSD, someone isn't. It just puts everyone on a level playing field straight away. It's really helpful. Particularly for console. In fact, more than anything, it's the fact that if you do that, it means that PC and console don't need splitting. I've never been a big fan of leaderboards being split by console, but it has to happen because it's just not fair. Ideally, you want your game to be playable on and compete against any console. It makes life so much easier. For me, it's always my desire. I'm Unmetal, Mini Ghost, and Pampas and Celine are the only games that I am a moderator for. I'm not a moderator or verifier for any other game on speedrun.com. And it's always my desire, as much as possible, to have the leaderboards as small as possible. Least number of make categories as small as possible. Don't split again across different platforms wherever possible, stuff like that. All right, let's see my final time. It wasn't at 106. I was completely off. It was a 107. So we go. 107.22 is the official time, the official load and remove time. We're 108.26 on the IGT, 108.49 on the RTA, and there we go. That is what I'm suggesting. The first speed run of Metal Gear Solid 3 all weapons, with all guns blazing, I believe is the achievement name. Yep, with all guns blazing. So yeah, that is the next step towards the all collectibles run. So yeah, if you're watching the VOD, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. You can go check out some of my other completion runs. I am the world's almost authority on all Keratin frogs in MGS3. I've also done all plants and animals. Did that last week. I've done all camos, the world record holder for all camos on PC, because I'm the only person who's done it on PC. I was once the console world record holder, but that was a very long time ago. yes, I've done all camos. I've done all keratin frogs. I've done Markor, so all plants and animals. I've now done all weapons. The only two completion ones that I still want to tackle now, there is a Keratin run, which is all plants and animals and all keratin frogs. The one I'm most interested in is creating an all collectibles. So that is all keratin frogs, all plants and animals, all weapons, all camos and face paints, and all equipment. All equipment is the only one of those that doesn't have some sort of achievement tied to it. There is nothing in the achievements, there's nothing in the game that tracks equipment, but I feel like it's necessary. So yeah, if you want to see those, you can see those live here on YouTube or twitch.tv/Green. Go check out some of my other runs, and yeah, I hope to see you in another video. Okay, that just ties up that's just to tie up the VOD. Yeah, good, we've done it. We have we've got our first run of all weapons. Now I do not intend to come back. That's it. I'm not intending to. I might do the console run if this becomes a speedrun category. But I'm not intending to now run this like over and over again. I'm not intending. What I'd like to do is I want to get all collectibles done, and then I will probably submit all collectibles to some speedrun marathons. But I do have other things that I want to do as well. Next month, the end of next month, in fact, the 30th of August, I'm in a race for Struggle R, which is an organisation that's run by a few of the Albion Speedrun Collective leads. And I have got 16 Sega Mega Drive games to play, and 8 of them that I should try and learn the speedrun for. Well, 7 of them that I should try and learn the speedrun for. I already know one of them because it's Castle of Illusion. So I will be playing and speedrunning some of those over the next few weeks. Also in time for August, I did say I wanted to learn MGS4, ready for when the Master Collection came out, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I don't think I'm going to have time. I'd still want to do all collectibles on here, obviously. I did recently play through Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Asylum, with the intention of learning the speedrun, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Maybe at some point, but don't think right now. Yes, it is. It's all the 27th of August. So yeah, obviously when that rolls around, I'll be doing that. I've also got to decide what I'm going to submit to Albion Speedrun Brighton. Albion Speedrun Marathon Brighton, which is the 23rd, 24th. It's 23rd, 24th or 22nd, 23rd. Final weekend of November. Albion Speedrun Marathon Brighton. I've also got to organise it. All we've done is announce it right now. Submissions aren't open. We've just announced the venue. And date. So yeah, I can decide what I want to submit to that, because I will be submitting again. I'm not going to be on Games Committee this time. There's more people who have wanted to be on Games Committee, so I've said I'm happy to step back and let Games Committee do that so that I can focus on other things. So yeah. Because also people have discussed in the past that if you're on Games Committee, that you should be sort of like the first in line to not have a run in the marathon. And like, I've spent so much time and effort over the past few years trying to get live events done in the UK. I am not submitting to my own marathon. When we get big enough where we're having to turn away a third or half of the runners who apply because they can't get in, then yes, I will stop submitting completely. But no, I wanted to create live UK events so that I had more opportunity to do some speedruns in live UK events. But that would be up to Games Committee to decide. I don't know what I did. MGS3 any % European Extreme for the last one, so I should do something different. I don't know what yet. But I've got plenty of time to work it out. I'm think we're a little bit early to finish, but not early enough that I'm going to move on and do something else. Something like that. I do need to have a look at where I would be getting a couple of items. Now that I might be getting the M6 for all collectibles. Actually, I'll put this out to everyone. I'd like folks' opinion on part of my all collectibles plan. So as I said, for all collectibles, so most of them are straightforward. It's equipment that's the difficult one. So obviously all keratins trackable, fine. But by the end of the run, we should have the keratin rank. Markor, so all plants and animals, is trackable because on the score screen it will show that I've collected 48 plants and animals. All weapon and all camos and all weapons have to be tracked manually. There's no in-game track. The only thing I will do with those, although I'm not convinced that the achievement for all weapons properly means all weapons because of what happened earlier, I will probably turn the achievements off for those so that I get them again to show that I've got them for all weapons and all camouflages. Still haven't actually got the achievements for all camouflages. I'm still missing it because I've not done them all in one run. Then there's all equipment, which is basically everything else. So there's lots of different pieces of equipment in the game. And the way that I'm looking at it is any item or piece of equipment that you already have in your inventory by default does not need to be collected again. So that means do not need to get any healing items because we have them all by default. Do not need to get suppressors for the Mark 22 or the M19 because we have those by default. The one that I'm a little contentious on is batteries. Because you do have batteries at the start, but I don't know, that one feels a bit weird. There are places to get additional batteries. Batteries kind of feel like ammo for your equipment, and actually a battery isn't an item that appears in your inventory. It's not its own item. I think that's another reason not to go for it. The one that I am thinking I do need to get is the suppressor for the M16, because you don't have a suppressor by default for it, and there is one available. And that's something that I want to quickly have a look at and see if I can find, because one thing I should do is I should probably save my times. There we go. Space. Trying to use my keyboard. With moving the M16 to grabbing it in Groznygrad when we first go back after torture and after the waterfall and all of that. Originally, I'd planned to get it in Dolonovo under the bridge during the Virtuous mission, because you can get the suppressor in Razvet straight afterwards, and also under that bridge is Pentazemin. Pentazemin, even though I've said we don't need to get cure items, but Pentazemin is not in the cure menu. It is its own item. So that's why Pentazemin and Bug Juice, they count. I can't remember if there's anything else like that. Because Pentazemin and Bug Juice are their own items, they're not cure items, they count. The items that I've got in my list are Pentazemin, the M16 suppressor, Life Medicine. Again, it's not a cure item. Mine Detector, Bug Juice, Crop Cap, Night Vision Goggles, Thermal Goggles, Gobble Box A, B, and C, and the camera. The suppressor is kind of the contentious one, and the suppressor and battery are the contentious ones. I say battery, because the battery isn't its own item, I don't think it's needed because we already have batteries on us. We already start with multiple batteries, depending on what difficulty you're on. We already start with multiple batteries for our equipment. In the same way that we already start with ammunition. I don't need to go and pick up ammo boxes because whenever we pick up a weapon, we automatically have ammo for it. I think that's fair. I don't think ammo is needed. The one contention then is the M16 suppressor. My argument for that one that I do need to collect it is that whilst it's not its own weapon, it's not its own item in the item menu, it is something that appears in the menu that unless you pick it up, you won't see it. I say batteries, you see the number of batteries that you have. There is a battery in your inventory at all times. Ammunition, it's already there. That's fine. The M16 suppressor doesn't. And if I'm now getting the M16 in Groznygrad Northwest, I do need to try and find another suppressor. Because that's the other thing. Can't pick up the suppressor until you've got the gun. There's 3 opportunities to get it. So it might be that I change it. Well, I've also got to try and find the Pentazemin. Because the Pentazemin was where the M16 was as well. So this changes things quite a bit.
You remember me, don't you? You've grown.
So we're gonna have a quick look at.
High concentration.
Have a quick look at where we might get that stuff from.
Have they altered your memory too?
So suppressor. There is.
So you
in the West Wing.
Olga, you
The
can't
West
keep this
Wing
up. They're
second
bound to
floor
find you.
corridor.
Listen, I'll free you in a little while. Brace yourself.
There is a suppressor. Oh. In the lab. The Groznygrad Weapons Lab, West Wing second floor corridor. After meeting Eva, there is a suppressor. So this is the door into torture. There's a suppressor in there. That's quite far out of the way. That's way more out of the way to go and grab that. There is one in the East Wing, but we don't go into there at that point. There isn't one anywhere else, according to the guide that I'm looking at. So that means that for all collectibles, we probably do want to get it in Dolanova now. Because then we can get the suppressor straight away afterwards. And, as I say, it also fixes the Pentazemin. Because I don't actually know where Pentazemin is everywhere. In fact, the guide that I'm looking at only shows Pentazemin in that one spot. That's not to say that that is definitely the only place Pentazemin exists, but I think it's likely. Can't be the only place, because Pentazemin's no use in the Virtuous Mission. There must be some Pentazemin somewhere in Operation Snake Eater. But this guy does not. MGS3 Pentazemin. Let's see if the Metal Gear Wiki. I bet the Metal Gear Wiki doesn't mention it. The Metal Gear Wiki is more about lore and story rather than. That's what I said. A guide for finding it in Delta. Now, if it's where it is in Delta, it should also be in the same place. How to get Pentazemin? You can find Pentazemin in the alcove under the north side of the bridge in Dolanova during the Virtuous Mission. Apparently, that is it. Seriously? Is that really it? Delta is identical. Yeah. There's a Reddit post. There's a Reddit post called "What's the most useless item in Metal Gear?" Does that mean someone's comment is Pentazemin in MGS3? It's not needed. I'd still need to get it for the all achievements run because that's the idea. But I found another equipment list. There seems to be the same equipment list as before. Yeah. That is the only Pentazemin in the from every guide I can find. Oh, enemies drop it. Right, there we go. Enemies drop it. That's where else you can get it. Okay, so is there and I found a guide which shows you every single enemy. Every single enemy and what they drop. Alright. Let's have a look for Penta. So this is an Ocelot soldier. One of the Ocelot soldiers drops it, but like that's a second drop as well. So it's like then there's another unit. So we'd need for it to actually be time worthy. We kind of need to find a guard that drops on his first drop. But most of these seem to be second or third drops. There is a guard that drops on his first drop, but it's an Ocelot soldier from Sacramento West, so it's only available if you kill the end early. Later on, we've got third drop, first drop. Grozny Gorgy Mountaintop, after meeting Eva. There's a soldier by the med shack, the double A gun, apparently only on normal plus. There's a support unit soldier who drops it. So this doesn't, that doesn't, so I definitely don't want to be wandering around.
I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the
Support that unit looks like he's quite far away.
And their plan too. Solid Snake's
Sounds
your arrival. It was obvious
that seems to be the only guard I can find who drops it as the first drop.
You came in handy as bait. Jack.
That's the only guard apart from that Ocelot guard we're not going to come across who drops it in their first drop. So no, we have to get the Pentazemin from underneath there. Also, I don't know if this is this by holding guards up? No, it's not necessarily. First two drops can be obtained from an unconscious guard or from interrogation. The last two can only be obtained by a hold-up. Also, if you kill the guard and loot him, you'll only get the item in the first slot. So yeah, we're looking at multiple drops.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
Like, is there even a guard with who's on 2?
Corrupted beyond repair. I admit that I
Normal plus. That's the thing, we can't go for any normal plus guards. There's a few 3s, but that's going to be really slow.
I'll squeeze the answers out of you instead, my son.
No, I can find 3s, but I can't find one of the Ocelot soldiers. One of the Ocelot soldiers, but obviously we complete the Ocelot unit fight so quickly that that wouldn't work. No, so no, I'm gonna say no. The Pentazemin we must pick up from that one spot, which means we're gonna get the M16 at that point as well. So that solves the M16. Now the suppressor, it's a little out of the way because we have to go up the stairs. But I still think going up the stairs and grabbing it. So I've already found one where a guard drops it. Seemingly drops it straight away. But might not, depending on the version of the game. First flamethrower soldier in Grasengorgi Mountain Top. But I still think that's going to be slower than running up the stairs and grabbing it in Razvet. I don't take that long. Yeah, screw it. So we've got another deviation for completion. Let me just undo that hide. So because I've made a note on my guide. I'll show you my guide. Why don't I just show you my guide? You can see what I'm seeing. So here we go. Here is it. It's not particularly elegant or anything overly special. It's just I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in. It is just. You won't see it very. But let me just do that so that people on the vertical stream can see it a bit better, because people on the vertical stream can't see my desktop fully. There we go. Move over a little bit. Yeah. So yeah. So for weapons, that grenade is in orange because during an all collectibles run we get the grenade from here rather than here. So I need to add that now. So it's actually there. Dolanova, no. We'd grab we'd grab that from there. Bold. Orange. Okay, we can hide all of these. Hide all of these. Yeah, I've done this for all of this. This isn't an exhaustive list of where you can find every single one of these items. This is a list of, for speed running, where I believe the most effective location to grab these items is. So we've got Markor. That's every Markor item where you would get each one from. And camos. I did the same for camos. Should change the color. I should do a color for this. The water. All these ones that are in open brackets is because of a backtrack, but I should make those colored instead, like I've done with the others. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that purple. There we go. Purple. Purple means it's a backtrack. Uniform Spirit is in italics because you don't actually collect it, but you do have to do something. You have to go to the end of the Sorrow for it, but you don't actually collect it. It just gets put in your inventory. Let me just do find and sheet. Replace, please. Find that, replace with that. And find that, replace with that. Cool, done. So yep, that's all camos. There's all weapons where it looks at, and then here's all the equipment. So Pentazemin, we're still getting Dolanova. Suppressor, the suppressor we now got to get in Razvet because because we won't have the M16 in Operation Snake Eater, we can't pick up the suppressor anywhere else. It has to be collected in Razvet. Dolanova, no. We grabbed the life medicine. I've only said it in Dolanova, no, because for an all collectibles run, I'm not intending to do an equipment run on its own. There's barely any equipment. It's not worth doing. But for an all collectibles run, we've got to go to the under the bridge in Dolanova no anyway, because we're grabbing the raindrop camo. So we might as well grab life medicine there, and that saves having to try and get it. Like the normally life medicine, the best way of getting it is just before the pain, but you have to make sure that you get the roll correct and grab it, otherwise you miss it. Mine detector and bug juice, both in Razvet, because the bug juice in Razvet is easier than the bug juice in the cave. Crop cap in Chorny Prud, that's the really, really long one, but the crop cap in Chorny Prud is also why the grenade is in orange for Chorny Prud. We grab the grenades then. Because then it means you don't have to grab Enduring Ocelot and you can focus on the King Cobra. Night vision goggles in warehouse exterior. Thermal goggles in inside the warehouse, as I've discovered today. They're in there. So that saves us having to get them in Razvet. We've got to go round. We've got to go towards the thermal goggles anyway, because we've got to get the cardboard box A, and we've also got to get the desert. It's either the desert face or desert camo. Cameras under the desk in the torture room. Cardboard box C, we do have to go out of our way. And actually, cardboard box C, I want to check. That's one that I want to actually check to see where it is. Now, I know where it is. I might want to move that camera over. Yeah, never mind. Cardboard box C, I already know where it is because I go past it in all keratins. Never mind. Oh, I don't need to check. I was thinking, do I go and get cardboard box C when I'm escaping from torture, so that I don't have to go out of my way to go and get it at any other point? Because during torture is the only time we're in the room that it's in. It's in the room where the torture room. So the torture room, you go outside. It's in that bit. Behind the torture room on the other side. But we're only going to do all equipment in an all collectibles run. So we're going to go that way anyway, because we're getting all keratin frogs. So that doesn't matter. Though now I'm curious. You know what? Before we finish, because I'm now curious, I want to find out. If I've got a save. Have I got a suitable save to go and check? I'm just curious. If I ever was to do all equipment without getting all keratins, is it still there? Load game. I might have to do this on a European Extreme save file. I don't have a lot of very easies. No. Let's cross the Grand Northwest. Don't know what this one is. Okay, this is the correct one. Now this is European Extreme. So I'm going to get spotted. But is it there? Just out of pure curiosity. I've got to get to the other side of that building without getting spotted. Damn it. How am I gonna get? How am I gonna get there? What? Ah. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if I can do it. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god. I don't even know if I can do this. I've only got one smoke grenade as well. It might not actually be possible to get back around here. And this is why it's been nice just playing very easy for a change. How repeatable is what?
Snake, you there?
I don't know. I genuinely don't think I can get to the other side of it. The only other thing I could do is I could try and go a different way. Get into that. This is just to see if an item is where I'm expecting it to be. Have a suppressor by default for it. It's coming through here. I can think of is this one. This takes me into northwest. Oh wait, no, I've gone. I'm going back. I can speed run MGS. Really, any references or no, I'm going completely the wrong direction. Wait, no, I'm not. I know where I'm going. I'm probably going to get spotted here. I actually don't know where any guards are in here. Maybe there aren't any, because you're not really supposed to come in here. There's a guard. Necessary. All of the memory location. Okay, I am in the right place. Quite a change. Locations would not be interesting. That would be really dull. Connected to. I tried doing all keratins and couldn't do it. No! I was just trying to get round guards before they spotted me. Regularly. This is so stupid. All this just to try and figure out if I can... All this just to see if I can find something. Finding memory location. Something's still there. This is really awkward. Yeah, no, I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I've just realised still got the on me. Now, we don't need to worry about the SAA at the end. We get given it. Yeah, I'm. This is so dumb. With the developer on it, I got the developer to put in. I'm gonna I'm gonna run up behind and roll this guy again. Like that now. You don't. Unfortunately, we don't. We have no. I've got the fork. I could run up and stab him. I have considered doing development streams when I've been doing. This would not be interesting. Making the games. What? This is ridiculous. Why am I doing it? It doesn't matter. Why am I still attempting this? It is so meaningless. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that guard. You should have seen my and torch. This is so stupid. Stop, Nick. Go to bed. You don't need to do this. It's all meaningless. Turn around. With ooh, what's so split for Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Sharp to do anything. The main issue with auto splitters being written in C# is you can get C# to do the.
This is HQ.
I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. Oh god, there's another guard there. That's okay. That's okay. When we restart, we won't have a caution. Which means he's probably not there now. That guard. Get around that corner. There it is. Yes, it is here. It is here. I did it. I found it. Cardboard box. Right. There we go. If for any reason I ever need to do this run, without without going for all keratin frogs. Hello.
HQ respond.
If I ever need to do this run without doing all keratin frogs, for whatever reason, we can get the cardboard box seed there rather than anywhere else. Anyway, that's gonna be it, folks. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm freaking tired and that took longer than I was expecting. Have a good night. See you on Thursday. Bye.